Entara Tassadar, fellow Protoss. I haven't pressed play. There we go, now I've pressed play. Entara Tassadar, fellow Protoss players. My name is Kaelaris, and today we are going to be looking at a game between myself and Jimote, who is a good real life friend of mine, and against Crispy and Mayo, and I'm throwing a little bit of abuse at them because it's all mind games. It's mind games. Reapers are not fun. We don't like Reapers. But this is a PP versus a TT, and I was casting this game because it's quite a fun game, and well, I enjoyed the game at least, and well, it ties in very much with kind of. If you watch my videos often, you will know that I recently cast a game strategy kind of thing of expanding fast against Terran, and I know it doesn't apply that much to 2v2 because 2v2's spazzy and stupid because of like how much early pressure people can apply on one base if it's not a shared base or whatever. But this, me and Jim, we use this tactic very, very often in 2v2, and we have like 35 wins and 13 losses in Platinum or whatever. We could quite easily get into Diamond or whatever, but we just don't play that much, basically. But like a 75% win ratio with this tactic. So if you're playing with a friend, partner, or whatever, just try this. Seriously, it's frigging good. It's fantastic, and it's really fun as well. Just to out macro people, and this will show the proper way to defend against early Terran pushes. Really, again, in this kind of situation. Because it's vital that you do destroy that first push. So as you can see, I've spawned as red, Jim spawned as blue, Crispy spawned as teal, and Mayo has spawned as purple. And these guys, I'm pretty sure they will have raged because as I casted my last game where I was doing all those stupid force fields on that dude's ramp, which is so annoying. These guys probably think force fields are just as overpowered as well, because force fields are frigging awesome. And if you don't use force fields, if you're a Protoss player and you don't use force fields that much, you need to use force fields, because force fields are the best thing ever designed in this game. They are amazing, or stasis as some people would call it in StarCraft 1. But that's another story. Anyway, for now, me and Jim are just going standard builds, 2 gates each, and Jim is going 2 gate cybercore already. Yeah, so I've gone gate cybercore, and Jim has thrown down an extra gateway quite quickly, as well as you can see here that our opponents are just going for kind of marauder heavy builds and going to be pushing us quite early on during this game. So now I'm just trying to take out this SCV with this Zealot, but I did overshoot it quite a bit at that beginning, and now he's going to be running out of the base. And now we do see Jim's second gateway is up and running. Both of us researching warp gates at like almost exactly the same time. That's like exact. And like our stalkers as well, they're pretty much exact, except he's building 2. So Mayo now going for Stimpack, and his friend going for concussive shells. I imagine they'll both be researching the other ones before, but that's quite a nice combination actually. One of you going for concussive shells and one of you going for Stimpack. So yeah, that'll work out nicely. Both of us. Well, I'm now going for a robotics facility, and I imagine Jim will be going for one as well quite soon, as he's got the money. And my second gateway is now just finished. It's very important during these matches to just keep pumping the units. Keep pumping. That sounds like some kind of workout video. But and it's also very important, to get this warp gate out as quick as possible, because if you can get your warp gate out as quick as you physically can, it just reduces the cooldowns of all your units. So how could you not want that? Seriously. So now we do see concussive shells finished for Crispy, and now he's just getting his Stimpack, and more units going to be pouring out of these 3 racks build. 3 racks is so freaking strong. And we know they're going for 3 racks at this point, so we're going to grab ourselves a few immortals in order to be able to fend this off. Jim is just throwing down his robotics facility now, a little bit behind me, I think. But Jim is a very good player, although he's such a douche because he's like in Bronze League, and he's like, no, I don't want a 1v1, it's rubbish and stupid, even though he is a very, very, in my opinion, he's a good player. So don't be dissing my Jim, yo. So now I've got quite a few units out here, quite a lot of sentries, going gas heavy in order to be able to get down this nexus as early as possible. And once you've got this amount of units, you're in quite a good position to throw down this Nexus, but as you can see, they are going to be pushing in with quite a sizable force here at this point, also reinforcing with as many units as they possibly can. As you can see on the minimap, they're just streaming the units in. We do see this push is coming, so Jim's got his forces out here, and he's going to be luring them up his ramp as quickly as he possibly can, taking out a Marine there, but one Zell also dying for the price it cost. And now I'm going to be bringing my units down to the bottom here, and this is where the engagement is really pivotal at this point. I have not moved my units in thus far because we know they are outside his base, and what we want to do is we need to separate these units. So what we're going to do is they're going to be coming up the ramp here, separating the units there, taking pretty much half of their units up into the ramp. They can't run away now, so I'm bringing my units down here now in order to be able to finish off these. Two Immortals are going to be able to shred through these units here. As you can see, throwing up a Guardian Shield in order to be able to negate as much damage as possible, and a lot of stim going down on their units. And this looks like a very, very close battle, but these mortals did pay their way in gold. And as you can see now, we're able to push them back quite effectively, all because we were able to separate their forces on this ramp here. Now reinforcing with more Immortals. Jim has already thrown down his expansion, so now, after this push is done, this is basically where, in essence, you're at a disadvantage going into this engagement, and the only way you can win as a Protoss player is by dividing and conquering. But once these Nexus, or Nexi, get up and running, you are in a firm position of control. As you see here, they did scan, so they do know we've got the expansions up and running, and I can guarantee you they are shitting themselves right now, because we've just fended off their first push and got an expansion up, so they're really pissed off at this point. So Maya are now trying to poke in, see what's going on with these forces, but as you can see, we're outnumbering them quite well here. They are throwing down a Ghost Academy now, which in my opinion is the right thing to do. Ghost Academy is so strong against these Immortal defences, as well as just any defences for a Protoss player, and you'll see some EMP action going on later on in the game. Now stimming in to take out this Immortal. Nice stim there to pick off that Immortal, scanning all these units, but it's going to look like these Guardian Shields and these Force Fields, making sure that they can't retreat, are in a really good position. So now all their units are being decimated by our forces, still streaming in the units here from the Terran players, but whilst this is happening, we're just kind of macroing up, getting all these expansions nicely saturated, and this is where Protoss players take the lead in this situation. Your economy doubles in comparison to what they're doing. Jim is now getting his robotics bay. I'm sticking with Immortals and throwing down a few more gateways very soon in order to be able to reinforce this current position. And they're just sticking around here, and at this point the main attacks have failed, and no amount of streaming units in is gonna break this front, because we're just streaming in units in a similar fashion, but now we can stream in more units than them. So it's very good to point out, it's very crucial to point out that they can never in this position get more units than we can, because of how long our expansions have been up. So we're just waiting for them to push in, not being nice and calm, nice and, passive about this. We're happy to just stick back, because we know that their expansions won't be up as nearly as fast as ours will, and won't be as saturated as fast as ours will at all. So we're happy to just stick back. I am now getting Hallucination, because I frigging love Hallucination. It's the most underused ability in the Protoss arsenal, and use it because it's awesome. Throwing down a few more gateways now, and there. This is a scary force, no doubt, and these ghosts only complement this scary force as much as Hallucination will complement my force. Ha ha ha. Well said there by me, because Hallucination is freaking awesome. But as you can see, we just have a huge army here, and lots of Immortals. Lovely. And we're confident that we can push in here and take out this no problem. Although a big EMP going down on my units there, and we're trying. Jim was going to force field this side, and I was going to force field this side, but the EMP did kind of get away on my shields, so we can't really pinch them in as much as we would like to. But now we're just going to push forwards, and as you can see, actually, that EMP didn't do a whole lot to my army. They kind of just focused Jim's unit, so kind of a bad choice by the Terran there, by focusing the ones that were stronger rather than weaker. And now we're just going to push into their bases. As I say, our economy is fantastic, reinforcing with more Stalkers here, blocking off that ramp so that they can't reinforce with any units from here. And hopefully I should block it off again if I do have enough energy. I don't think I do, though. No, I do not. just reinforcing with these units when they do decide to come along, and just going to be wrecking havoc in their bases. Jim reinforcing with Stalkers, bringing a Colossi over, more Stalkers warping in. I probably should have put Proxy Pylon over here by the reeds, but this is pretty much game, and Mayo does leave, and this guy's going to leave very well soon as well. So, and I'm saying so fail, I'm not sure why I did. I think they did something. I thought they were going to lift off and then just kind of like fly around the map, but they didn't. So thank you to you guys for not wasting time, and thank you guys for watching. If you like what you see, please do subscribe, and also if you really like what you see, I have a donation link which would be really appreciated, since living in Finland is crazy. So yeah, thank you very much, and I will see you guys next time.